998, 999, 1,000! That's a new PR!
I'm coming for you, Fraser. Alright guys, welcome to Workout 2, Week 2 of the online functional athletics fitness experience. Today, hard work pays off. We're calling out Fraser on this one. Like to see him do 1,000 handstand push-ups. So, I'll let Michael take you through today's workout.
Alright guys, so yeah, as always, we'll take you through the warm-up, mobility, the accessory portion for the day, and then the WOD itself. So starting off with the warm-up, today we're going to do 3 rounds of this. We're going to do our walkouts, our head-to-floor press, burpees, and then a floor chest stretch. There's a little bit of a flow to that, so I'll show you when we demonstrate all the movements afterwards. I'll show you what that looks like. Mobility, we're going to hold each stretch for 30 to 45 seconds. You guys, if you have a PVC pipe, great. If not, use a broom. We'll demonstrate with a broom to show you that you guys can actually do this. So we're going to do some Passovers, a lat stretch, a chest stretch, and then something we call the prison stretch here. We'll have fun demonstrating that one for you. Accessory work for the day, 4 sets. So we're going to do 5 to 12 strict shoulder press while you're down in your lunge. So if you're down in your lunge and your left knee is forward and you're holding the weight with the right hand, you're going to do 5 to 12 reps. And then when you go to switch to the other side, you bring the other leg forward and then switch to the other side, 5 to 12 reps. I have a bit of a range there because some of you guys may have a dumbbell that's quite heavy or a kettlebell that's heavy. Some of you may have a lighter weight. So if you got something a little bit lighter, try and go push it towards the higher rep range. After you do your set on both sides, you guys will move on to the wall walks. We're going to do 1 to 3 reps with that. And then we'll rest 2.5 minutes in between. I do have some scaling options for the wall walks. We'll demonstrate that afterwards. The WOD today, 10-round workout. You guys are going to do 5 handstand push-ups, 10 dumbbell or kettlebell rows per arm, so you're in your push-up position, and you do 10 on one side, and then you'll switch and do 10 on the other side, and then we're going to do 15 sit-ups or ab mat sit-ups. So in just a minute here, we'll meet you guys back on the floor, and we'll go through each one of the movements. All right, guys, welcome back. So let's go through the warm-up first. 3 rounds, like I was saying. We're going to start off with our walkouts. So he'll start from standing, walk his hands all the way up to his push-up position, chest to the floor, and walk his hands all the way back, and then stand all the way up, trying to keep his legs as straight as possible. Scaling from there would be walk your hands out, down to the knees, push up, toes down, and then walk his feet back. Okay, so we're going to start off with 3 of those. The next one we call the head-to-floor press. So he'll walk his hands out part of the way, starting with his chest right through. So you can see he's pulling his chest right through to his toes. He'll come forward, so his head touches the head of his fingertips, make a triangle shape, press up, and then pulls his chest back through. So it's forward and down, up and back and through towards your toes. So we're going to do 5 reps of those. After your 5, we're going to go into our burpees, chest to the floor, jumps his feet forward, and then jumps up, reaches above his head. 3 reps of that. And then the chest stretch is a little bit of a flow. So you lay in your stomach, arm out to the side, and he's going to use his other arm that keeps tucked up beside him like he's going to do a push-up. That's the arm he uses to push his body over, swing his leg over. He'll hold there for like a second or 2, and then just flow right into the other side, doing 4 reps per side. Okay, just trying to really open up that chest. So that's our warm-up portion. The next portion, you guys, like I was saying, will need a broom. I'm gonna grab that. A broom, or if you happen to have a PVC pipe, use a PVC pipe. But I think everybody has a broom. So we're gonna use a broom. So 30 to 45 seconds of each one of these movements. Passovers, nice wide grip. Something. Ooh, our broom's too short.
Oh!
Hopefully your brooms are a little bit longer than ours. Yeah, this one will really open it up.
Oh.
So that's our Passover movement. And then we got our lat stretch. So he's gonna stick it in the ground like Gandalf the Grey, pull his chest down, leaning his lat towards the floor, still trying to keep his weight back to his heels so he really opens up the shoulder. Hold there for 30 to 45 seconds. And then we're going to do a chest stretch just along the wall. So you guys can go up against the wall, arm along there, and then he just tries to rotate his body away from his shoulder. Okay? 30 to 45 seconds. And then the final one, we call this the prison stretch because it looks like you might be going to jail. So hands up against the wall, sticks his butt back, keeping his arms as straight as possible, and then pulls his chest down towards the floor. Try to keep his hands above his back. Okay? That's our last stretch. So let's just go through the accessory movements now. So we're going to do 4 sets. After each, it's a superset. So you guys will do this movement, moving into this movement, and then you'll rest 2.5 minutes in between. So the first thing we have here, you use a dumbbell or kettlebell. You guys are going to do a shoulder press while in a lunge. So if he has his right leg forward, he's pressing with his left arm. Trying to get that nice and tall chest, ribcage down, gets his arm locked out beside his ear, and he's aiming for 5 to 12 reps, like I was saying, depending on the weight that you have. Okay? He would do all his reps on one side, switch his legs, switch his arms, and then repeat on this side as well. Once he finishes both sides, then he's going to move on to his wall walks. So I know some of you guys might be in an apartment or just don't have a wall where you guys can do this. In a second, I'll show you some scaling options. But the way we like to do this, we like to start in the bottom of our push-up, so our feet are up against the wall. He'll do his push-up to the top, and then he'll start moving his feet before he starts moving his hands, and then he starts following it up. So now he's going to start walking his hands towards the wall while maintaining that tight core, that hollow body position, till he's right up against the wall, so toes are dug in, chest is against the wall, touch your nose if you can, show control, still being able to walk all the way back down to the floor, bottom of the push-up. That was 1, okay? I have a range, you guys can do 1 to 3, depending on how much you want to challenge yourselves. So, let's just go through some of the scaling options for this next part. So, if we're doing the wall walks and we're not able to do those in your current setting, or if they're a little bit advanced, you guys could do this on a chair or a couch. So preferably you guys would want whatever you're using to make sure that it's sturdy. You can put it up against the wall to make sure it doesn't go anywhere. I'm going to pretend that I'm the wall for Sean here. So I'm going to hold the chair. He'll start out in his push-up position. He's going to walk his hands back, getting his hips over top of his hands. And then once you guys get to this position, as far back as you can go, 10 shoulder taps, alternating shoulder taps. So when he lifts his right arm, he touches his right shoulder, and then he'll walk back out. After he finishes his 10, that was 1. You guys are doing a rep range of 3 to 6 on that movement, okay? If you find that a little bit advanced, keep the rep range of 3 to 6, but you guys will walk back as far as you can, and then you just hold for 5 seconds. You don't have to do the shoulder taps, just hold for 5 seconds, and then walk your hands back up for 3 to 6 reps, okay? So that's how we're going to scale the wall walks. Moving on, the WOD. We have 10 rounds. So, as written, you guys will do 5 handstand push-ups. You can do them strict or kipping. I recommend going kipping today. 10 rounds is a lot of handstand push-ups. And then you guys will do 10 dumbbell or kettlebell rows per arm. So let's just demonstrate with the kettlebell. So with the kettlebell rows, you guys will be in your push-up position. So once he gets set up there, he's going to grab it with his left arm, nice and stable, tight core. He's going to do all his rows, getting his elbow up as high to his side as he can, keeping it tucked in, nice and tight to the body. 10 reps on one side, and then 10 reps on the other side. Okay? That's how I want that movement done. And then he'll, the last movement, you can do this with a dumbbell or a kettlebell. Same standards for both. The last movement we have is just a sit-up. If you guys have an ab mat, great, use it. If not, you can maybe just hold up a towel and put it behind you. Feet together, so bottoms of the feet together, heels tucked towards him, knees out to the side, lay back, touch the ground behind your head, sit up, and try and reach for your toes. Not the heel, I want you guys to reach all the way to your toes. You would do 15 reps like that. Okay? So, just to go over the scaling for the workout, the WOD. We have the handstand push-ups. If going off the wall is a little bit advanced for you guys are going to do the handstand push-ups off the chair or the couch again. Okay? So, we'll set this up for Sean here. Toes on the chair or couch, walks his hands back. Gonna make that tripod shape. So forward and down with the head, touch, tap, and pull back. Okay? Every time you guys come up, you need to pull your chest back towards the box. Okay? You guys will be doing 10 reps of that every round. So if you're scaling the handstand push-ups to this, you guys do 10 reps. And then everything else, one more skill. If you find the box a little bit advanced as well, or the chair or the couch, you guys can do a single arm push press. So Sean, you want to demonstrate that? So he's going to do 10 reps per arm. So it's a little dip, knees drive out, chest is tall, drive into the object, up overhead, arm locked out beside his ear. Okay, he'll do 10 reps on one side and then 10 reps on the other side. That's the final scale that we can offer for the handstand push-ups for this workout. Kettlebell, like always, is just tucked in that groove between his forearm and his bicep, and still driving up overhead, locking out that arm beside his ear. The only thing he's adding is that little bit of rotation so that his palm is facing forward. Okay? So that's the Fraser call-out workout. Hard work pays off. That's workout number 2 for this week. We'll see you guys next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe.